You being an employee wouldn't, because you're going to work for 40, 50, 60 years of your life and still never own it. And that's your life. That you can never leave to your kids. So 95% of our population become employees, but they only own 5% of the nation's wealth. People say, well, why is that? Because their core value is security. They said, I want a paycheck on the 1st and 15th. You guys ever heard anybody say, I need a job with good benefits?
Yeah.
And my question is, since when was 30 grand a month not a benefit? That's what I ask them all the time. Really? So is your job going to give you a $30,000 a month benefit? Well, never. I go, give me 30 grand a month, I'll get my own benefits. Yeah. Make sense?
Yes.
I ask people all the time, I go, so you want security? I go, do you know, you said you want a job with good benefits and a secure paycheck. I go, do you know how they catch a monkey? Here's how they catch monkeys. They go into the forest, they find a tree. They drill a hole into the tree and they bore out the hole. They put a piece of fruit in the tree. The monkey's roaming along in the forest. He smells the fruit. He puts his hand in the hole, grabs the piece of fruit, and his fist is too big to get out of the hole, so he starts freaking out. But he will not let go of the fruit. So they throw the net over the monkey and go, got myself a monkey. Which is the same thing your boss did to you with your benefit. You want freedom, but you ain't willing to let go of the fruit. So there's another way to earn income, which is to be a business owner, which 5% of our population doesn't. So think about this. If you're going to become an employee, we just talked about there's people from all over the world come to America. They go to the best colleges, Yale, Harvard, Dartmouth, all these great colleges, yes or no?
Yeah.
The smartest people on earth, and they stay here and go get jobs. So if you're going to be an employee, understand you're competing against the smartest people in the world. And I ain't the brightest bulb in the box, I'll be the first to admit it. But I'll work harder than any of them. But I know I'm not going to be smarter than all of them. So understand, if you go get a job, the likelihood of you being one of the highest paid employees means you have to be one of the smartest employees. And I don't know if that's simply going to happen. It could. Maybe there's somebody really smart in here. Maybe, I don't know. But I know only 5% of our population become business owners. So I said, man, if you own a business, you have no competition because nobody does it. So I could be the guy to start a business and hire somebody else to work for me. Those smart guys that don't want jobs, I'll just hire them. See, all you guys go, oh, Bill Gates is so smart. No, he's not. Bill Gates don't run Microsoft. He ain't run Microsoft for years. In fact, since the year 2000, he hasn't run Microsoft. Bill Gates is not that smart. He was smart enough to start a company and find somebody who was smarter than him that was dumb enough to work for him. You guys realize that? So 5% of our population are business owners, and they own 95% of the nation's wealth. Why? Because they were just trying to get rich? No, because their core value is freedom. Can y'all say freedom?
Freedom.
That was weak. Say freedom.
Freedom!
See, everybody loves that word. If you're in America, you love the word freedom. The one thing we want most is what? Freedom, which is options and choices and do what you want, when you want, with whom you want. Yes or no? So business owners didn't just get rich because they were trying to make a lot of money. They understood that money isn't everything, but it does buy time. See, time is the most valuable commodity in our lives. Once it's gone, we can never get it back. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Like, I'm 27. I feel like I'm getting old. Right? I am. I compare myself to like Mark Zuckerberg and I go, freak, I'm behind, right? But so I think about it, I feel like I'm getting old. And so, but I wish I could go back to the age of 20. I wish I could rewind time and say, now if I knew at 20 what I know now, what would I do differently? But we can't do that, which means time is the most valuable commodity in our lives. It's clicking away right now. We can never get it back.
Right.
But you can buy time forward. If that wasn't true, you wouldn't save money for retirement. So the problem is employees are taught to trade time while owners leverage time. So it works like this. What's your name again? I'm sorry?
Brianna.
Brianna. What was your name?
Ricardo.
Ricardo. So we got Brianna and Ricardo. So let's say I own a construction company. Here's how it works. If I own a construction company, what's your name? Elijah? So let's say Elijah is a general contractor, and I own a construction company, and I'm a framer. I frame houses for a living. And Elijah says, Jeff, I'll give your company $100 an hour for the job. So I did the job. I get $100 an hour for labor costs, right? So if Elijah wants a job, I sit down and I interview Elijah. And Elijah walks into my office with his one and only suit that he owns, right? He prints his name on paper, on fancy paper, and says stuff about himself he ain't ever said before. And he walks into this interview, and I go, Elijah, tell me a little bit about yourself. And he goes, man, I'm just so awesome. I'm just so great. He tells me all this stuff. And I go, so what are your flaws? He goes, my only flaw is that I have no flaws, right? And so I go, Elijah, I'll pay you $20 an hour. He goes, good, I'm in. So he leaves. He goes outside to his buddy. He goes, man, I got him, $20 an hour. Right? And I go over to Elijah, and I go, Elijah, can you believe it? I got him, dude, $20, so I got to keep 80, and he does all the work. See, he traded his time for $20 an hour. I leveraged my time using his time, made $80 an hour, 4 times the amount of money. And how much work did I have to do? None. So you see what your boss just did to you? So now if I want to make $160, I hire Brianna. I go, Brianna, want a job? Crazy. That's how it works. You guys know that? So the question is, would you rather be the person that leverages their time or trades their time?
Leverages.
So let me ask you, why do you trade your time right now? Because probably nobody ever taught you that. You know why? Because when you went to school, guess what the teacher was doing?
Trading their time.
So they have no idea how to teach you how to do this because the owner was not there. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
So, tell you guys a little bit about me. I started Primerica. This is a piece of crap I drove when I started. I was nothing special. You know, someone back there said earlier, said something about it. They said, starstruck me. I go, I'm no different. I just showed the presentation 2,000 times. In fact, you'll probably be better than me because I was a boxer, so I said a lot of crap I shouldn't have said to people, right? But I drove this piece of junk, and I'm a car guy, so that's embarrassing. It had 230,000 miles on it the day I bought it. So if you want a car that runs forever, buy a Toyota Camry. Right? The paint was so faded, I never washed it because it didn't look any different. The windshield wipers did not work. So I found this out. At 60 miles an hour, rain does not stick to your windows. So when I'm driving through a neighborhood, right, when I first started dating my wife, I was broke at the time. We'd be driving through a neighborhood, it's raining, I'm doing like 60. And she goes, Jeff, slow down, it's dangerous. I go, more dangerous is I can't see through my windshield. You better get out of my way. I grew up in this freaking thing, whatever you want to call it. I got made fun of my whole life. I'm one of 6 kids. Now, you know what pisses me off is my mom was a single mom. I'm one of 6. She got a bachelor's degree. So she went to school. She got good grades. She did everything they told her to do. Everything. She graduated with a 3.8 GPA. So she was smart. She went to school. She got her degree. And that's what her bachelor's degree got her. We need a battery source, right? So it fires me up so bad because I didn't even get to live in the trailer. Because one of 6, there's only 2 bedrooms in one of those. So my mom bought this piece of junk camper that goes like on the back of a truck. And she backed it up right to the porch. And I used to run up across these stairs, run across and hop in a camper. I lived there for years. And people used to always tell me, Jeff, what do you want to be when you grow up? We'd be in school or something. They'd be like, firefighter, police officer. Not me. I want to be a millionaire. And they had no idea that it had nothing to do with anything other than I didn't want to live like that anymore. I didn't want my kids to grow up like that. Because everybody I knew, all the neighbors, guess what they were all doing too? Going to their jobs every morning. So when I met my wife, I would see a guy who drove a Bentley and I would follow him. He'd pull in a parking lot and I go, excuse me, sir, what do you do? Do you have a degree? Do you use it? Because I was at a crossroads in my life, man. I wanted to be successful. So I figured I'll just ask some successful people.
Good stuff.
Then I meet this guy named Brandon Neal, who's standing on stage just like we are tonight. And he was speaking to the crowd. And he said he started his first year, worked 2 nights a week, and made $20,000 his first year. Now, that isn't a ton of money, right? But it was 20 grand. He went full-time his second year, made $104,000. And I said, Brandon, you teach me how to make 104 grand with your freedom, I'll take 50 and be the happiest guy in the world. And he goes, Jeff, it got better. 183, 228, 325, 680, made $1 million a year at 29 years old. Notice what happened to his appointments. How many appointments did he go on?
0.
None. So he was totally free, making $1 million a year. That's 83 grand a month.
Dude.
Now his business is rocking and rolling, right? But he spent a bunch of years friggin' rocking, getting that sucker built, hiring, training, developing people, and then as more people got developed, he started doing less appointments. And so I said, man, if he could do it, why not me? He can't be. I tell everybody, God, it would be an unjust God for him to give him different talents than he would give me. Most of you guys go, well, Celine Dion got talent. That's bullcrap. She just been singing since she was a year old. If you was singing as much as she has, and you did everything, you would have the same talent as her. Michael Jordan got cut from his high school basketball team, so explain to me his success. How about Tiger Woods, been playing golf since he was 2? How about Mozart was playing, he was playing since he was like 4 years old. He had 25 years of practice before he ever made $1 from his music. And you guys think people have talent? That's just your excuse about why you're at where you're at. So stop saying that and start saying, man, if they did it, I could too. Because that's the way I thought. I said, he can't be that special. And I know God is not an unjust God. If they can do it, he'll give me the same opportunity to do it as well.
Yeah.
And so we got started. I was 20, just turning 21. I started April 30th. My birthday is May 23rd. And my wife was 17, just turning 18. My wife was not legal to even start with the company at the time. She was still in high school. And we were scared, but we got started, worked one night a week, made $14,996 our first year. We went full-time, made $115,000. Third year, $220,000. Fourth year, $465,000. Now, the crazy thing is my wife, her whole family's a bunch of doctors. So they all went to medical school. Her grandfather, his best friend is a guy named Menlo Smith, who actually founded Willy Wonka Candies. He's a billionaire. And that's her grandfather's best friend. So she comes from like this wealthy family. And what fired me up is so before I married her, I would go to a family function and they would go, so Jeff, where are you going to college? I go, I went to college for like 2 weeks. Quit. I go, why? I go, well, I was in class. See, I was in this business class because I always wanted to own a business. And I just asked my professor why he didn't do what he was teaching us to do. And he kicked me out of class, so I decided to never go back. So they would run over to my wife, hey, Kelsey, be careful before you marry this guy. He's not going to college. And it would piss me off like you couldn't believe. Because these guys were trying to talk my wife out of marrying me because I hadn't gone to college. So I made it my mission to make more money than them. And so I said, I'm going to treat this like college. Most people pay 15 grand a year to go to college, yes or no?
Yeah.
So instead of paying 15 grand, they paid me 15 grand for my freshman year. So my sophomore year, all my friends paid 15 grand, they paid me 115. My junior year, all my friends were still paying 15 grand a year. They paid me 220. My senior year, they paid us 465. My friends still paid 15. So my friends graduate with a bunch of debt, no job, and my 5th year in Primerica, I got financially independent. I never had to work for money ever again. That was the greatest thing. We lived life on our own terms. That we don't have to wake up. We don't have to ask anybody what we're going to do, when to do it. We lived in Idaho. We decided we're going to move to Las Vegas to save us money in state taxes, and I wanted to buy a penthouse. Right? We could have went to Miami, or I was originally thinking about moving to San Diego, but then I found out Nevada had no state taxes. I think I'll settle for Las Vegas, right? But it was an easy trade-off. 4 years of our lives for freedom. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. We missed some birthday parties. My 21st birthday, I was helping a client. Most people ain't willing to do that. You know what? On my wedding day, I tell people, I was at training on our wedding day. And people go, you're nuts. I go, that's why I'm rich. Because you don't want to go to training on your wedding day. And I was going to training because all my friends I knew, they wanted to party and do all this stupid stuff. And so now I call them up. I go, hey, dude, what you doing? It's Monday afternoon. Let's go golfing. I can't. I got to go to my job. I go, really? Your priorities are screwed up. When they used to tell me that before. And that's our life today. You know, I live in a penthouse that overlooks the Las Vegas Strip. I wake up every morning, walk out on my balcony, and go, man, I'm the luckiest guy alive. And I ain't parked my own car for 2 years. We have a valet guy. I drive up, I throw him my keys, and I walk into my house. Right, Kyle? Kyle just prospected my valet guy. I was trying to recruit him. I go, quit recruiting all my valet guys because I need a good one, right? But it's awesome, man. Places we traveled. I mean, these are all 5-star places. It costs more to stay in these hotels for a week than what it cost to buy the freaking trailer I grew up in. How stupid is that? I mean, these are all 5-star hotels all over the world, right? Like, I don't know, you guys are close to Beverly Hills. You know the SLS is nice. I mean, go stay a suite for a week at the SLS, it ain't cheap. And I didn't pay for none of those. That's all on Primerica. How about Waldorf Astoria in New York City? it cracks me up. I hear all these rappers rapping about this crap they don't really do. And then I go, man, we actually live this life. I go, how awesome is it?